Well, hello. Welcome to the WrestleTalk news. Good morning. I woke up this morning excited. It's double or nothing day. Woke up at about 6:30. Was just checking my phone, checking a bit of Twitter, and seems like one of those matches at Double or Nothing. Well, it might not be happening anymore because Fightful Select is reporting that MJF might be not at Double or Nothing. He might be no-showing, which is ridiculous. It's insane. I'm just going to read some quotes about this, just to be clear about what's happening, because MJF uh, no-showed a meet and greet that was due to happen. That has already happened. He no-showed it. Many fans were unhappy about it, according to the report, and his status for Double or Nothing, as of the report, was uncertain. AEW's remained quiet about the situation. The only sources within the company that would speak on the matter said they were very unhappy about how it all played out. This is, of course, building off the tension between MJF and Tony Khan that's been happening. There's been reports of MJF and Tony Khan not getting along, the heated discussion that they had, MJF's issues with his contract, Tony Khan not liking the fact that MJF did a major interview with Ariel Helwani without passing it through AEW PR first. Building off that tension, you feel like it's something to do with that. Apparently the communication between the two has reached an all-time low on both sides, so it's not looking positive on that end. And Fightful reached out to AEW and MJF, and we at least got confirmation that this isn't something to do physically with MJF. It's not like he's injured and will be missing the show or anything like that. So he is fine physically, which is great. That's obviously the first concern when something like this comes up. So at least physically he is fine, which is great. However, then it gets really, really interesting from here, because a flight for MJF out of Las Vegas across the country was booked for late Saturday night, which will be happening. He gets on the plane remains to be seen. So we don't know. A flight is definitely booked. Apparently, that was also confirmed by PW Insider and Wrestling Observer as well. So that flight is definitely booked. It's about whether MJF actually gets on the plane to leave Las Vegas. And obviously, if he's leaving Las Vegas, it's not a Double or Nothing. Fightful's like just reiterating they're not sure if he's actually getting on the plane. MJF remaining frustrated over the last couple months. Another interesting point about this as well is that they were told that AEW has been willing to discuss a new contract with him, who's scheduled to face Wardlow. And in weeks prior, MJF effectively blew off those overtures. And those that they spoke to in AEW believe that MJF would be paid top performer money to sign an extension. So I mean that's like his initial frustration. MJF's frustrations have been about the amount of pay essentially that he's receiving, because the contract that he got when he started in AEW, he's obviously risen to much higher highs than he was when he came into the company, and obviously he's brought a lot of people in since then. The company has grown massively, so he's obviously outperforming what he's initially worth, essentially. There's a couple of other points as well, because Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful then went and did a live stream talking about some of this breaking news, and apparently Wardlow hasn't been informed of the situation yet, which is something else, because this is obviously like the biggest night of Wardlow's career, so this could impact him massively. If this match doesn't end up happening, this could be a real shame for Wardlow in particular, because this is something that the organic Wardlow face turn's been something that's been teased for like a year, 2 years at this point, and now it's finally been blowing off, and he's finally getting the big match and overcoming the tyrannical dictator and all that stuff. And if it doesn't get to happen, that would be a real big shame. An interesting note, I think this is as of right now. It's an update on the Fightful Select report. This is all breaking news as it's happening. Those that we've spoken to claim that MJF is not on the plane. We're working to confirm this news. That is very interesting if MJF does end up staying, because that's the other aspect of this, is that your instinct when stuff like this comes up is that it's a work. MJF has kind of conditioned us to think that everything he does is a work. So when stuff like this comes up, your instinct go, well, it's a work, isn't it? But according to Sean Ross Sapp and according to pretty much everyone that's reporting on this stuff, this isn't a work. This is very, very much a real thing. And another report from PW Insider saying that MJF was spotted playing slots in the Mandalay Bay casino during the time he was scheduled to be in the vents for the meet and greet. So when he blew off the meet and greet, he was just playing slots. Yeah, this is a messy situation is what I'd call it. And I saw I think it was SP3 tweeted this, saying that in a year when Cody Rhodes has left AEW to return to WWE, this feels like the craziest story in AEW right now. Like this year, this feels like the craziest story because MJF feels like such an AEW guy. Obviously, Cody Rhodes is an AEW guy. He founded the thing, but MJF, man, I think he's so intrinsically linked to AEW's identity. He's like the anti WWE guy. Not in terms of like what he says and does, because obviously he's as part of his character, he's very pro WWE. But in terms of like the unscripted nature of his matches and the things that he gets to say that you would never hear on WWE, he feels like he just fits with AEW's vision of what AEW should be so perfectly. And for him to have all this come up is just really strange. Another point to note on this is that Samoa Joe also no-showed his meet and greet. However, that was reportedly, let me get the actual source here, so I'm not misquoting anything. Brian Alvarez said on Wrestling Observer Radio that he was actually double booked, and that was a miscommunication between two parties. It wasn't like Samoa Joe just didn't show up. He was actually double booked for another thing, miscommunication, and he ended up missing the meet and greet, which is a shame. But Sean Ross Sapp also noted that Joe's other booking was for a voiceover session, whatever that project was for. But yeah, it's just a messy situation because apparently as well, MJF intentionally wasn't answering his phone. That was according to someone who was at the meet and greet. Apparently the security told them MJF's not coming to his meet and greets and is not picking up his phone. But then, of course, he did respond to Sean Ross Sapp when he reached out to him, which I feel like is newsworthy in and of itself, because he's responding to Sean Ross Sapp, but he's not picking up his phone to AEW, which is, again, the situation's real messy, gang. So I have no idea what the hell is going on. Of course, if you want to stay up to date with this stuff, please check out WrestleTalk.com. We're going to have all the latest coming as soon as it breaks. Yeah. My goodness. It's MJF versus Wardlow. I think that's probably the match I was most looking forward to at Double or Nothing. And now the fact that it might not be happening is insane. Obviously, there's the update that MJF might not have got on his flight, but we don't know whether that's true or not. We're still working to confirm that. Like, man. Anyway, stay tuned to WrestleTalk.com for this breaking news. And I guess have fun at Double or Nothing, depending what happens. Bye. Thanks for staying. Subscribe. Watch more WrestleTalk news videos. Check out the other one that went up yesterday with my SmackDown review and the other one about the news that I did. Yeah. Sorry, this is throwing me through a loop and it's very early. Bye. Subscribe. Like and subscribe. Jam that jam.